The recording. Thank you. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Hai Lu. I am the Vice Chair of the Awards Committee. Stephen Dotz is off today, so I have the pleasure of running today's meeting. I would like to call the June 30th, 2022 awards meeting to order. We have a physical quorum present, represented by Joe Orfano, Laura Shepis, and Hai Lu. We also have Todd Skinner or Ricky Exton joining us via WebEx. OGC is represented by Rebecca Levy, and Budget is represented by Lori Whitmer. I note that no one is present on site for comment. Do we have any comments via email?
No, sir.
Is there anyone on the phone or WebEx who would like to comment? Okay, I note there's no comments. So on today's regular agenda, we have items 1 through 11. The items have been reviewed by Procurement and Budget and are ready for the Awards Committee review. I will now pass it over to Jenny McCollum, Chief Procurement Officer, to walk us through each item before we ask for a motion. Jenny?
Thank you. Through the chair, if we want to start with number 1, which is our meeting minutes from last week, we can run through those. Before I pass it back, I'd just like to make a note. If we could go to that. Can you scroll to that for me? Thank you. There was one on the agenda last week. Nothing changed from the point of view of what you guys approved. It's just a clarification in the discussion points. If you'll scroll down, I need to see what number it was. I'm sorry, I don't have that handy. Okay, so right there. It was the Concrete Advantage one. Number 7, we had made a comment. I made a comment that stated we were going to be bidding those two out together, and that was the incorrect statement. So I just wanted to make sure I clarified that. We are going to, bid when that one expires and handle it as we were, moving forward with just keeping those two sides of the river separate. So that is going to happen in the next month or so, but those, I just misstated when I said we were going to bid those out together. So I want to make that clarification for the committee. And I'll pass it to the chair for a vote.
Okay, do we have any comments? Okay. May I get a motion to approve award item number 1?
So moved.
Joe Orfano, second.
I have a motion by Laura Shepis and a second by Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted.
All right. Through the chair, award number 2 is an invitation for bid. This is for construction services for Monterey. This is the Townsend Pump Station project. This includes the demolition of the existing pump station and the construction of the new submersible pump station. And as a note, the existing pump station needs significant repairs. It's smaller than our current JEA Class 3 standards. The existing pump station is also inside the 100-year flood plain of Newcastle Creek, and the existing pump station will be at a higher elevation, supplied with larger pumps, and will meet current JEA resiliency requirements. Petticoat Schmidt Civil Contractors Inc. is our recommended awardee in the amount of $4,169,000. We estimate this project to be completed October of 2023. We did go to bid. We received 2. We had 3 attend our mandatory pre-bid, and the other contractor decided not to bid due to concerns with the number of bypasses required for the project and their availability of personnel to complete the work. When we look at the award amount versus the budget amount, it is about 12% higher. and the variance can be primarily attributed to the economic conditions impacting the cost of materials, supply, and shipping. One other factor is the additional manholes and associated piping that were not included in the original estimate. Are there any questions or comments? I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
May I get a motion to approve award item number 2?
Joe Orfano, so moved.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Joe Orfano, second by Laura Shepis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted.
All right, thank you. Through the chair, award number 3 is a rescind. This is for Buckman Industrial Cleaning Services. We went to bid. We received 2 bids. The bids received for this yielded a significant variation in the bid workbooks, meaning one of the vendors did not fill out the entire workbook, which made it very difficult for us to do an apples to apples comparison. And so it has been determined that we would like to resend those efforts, relook at the workbook, look at making this an ITN instead of just, I believe it was just an IFB. So we didn't have any ability to talk to the vendors and negotiate or clarify or anything like that. So I think this work is important. They've been doing this. I'll have the business chime in on how they've been performing it to date. It's either just low POs, kind of work as needed. So this was, I believe, supposed to kind of encompass a larger contract, but it is kind of new to us from like a solicitation standpoint. So does the business want to add anything to that?
Yes, Jenny, that's correct. It was more of an emergent type service we would use previously, but we want to actually do some preventative cleaning and kind of scale up the usage of that. So that's why we were going out to bid. And also there are more people that can do the work than previous. We only had one vendor that was able to do the work right. So now we're trying to give the opportunity for others to bid on that work as well.
Perfect. Any questions or comments from the committee? The unit prices that were submitted when we resend with the intent to rebid, those are held for 12 months, or when we send out the intent to award after we go through the process, whichever one is earlier. So the pricing will be held confidential until then. All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Thank you, Jenny. May I get a motion to approve award item number 3?
Skinner, so moved.
Thank you. Second?
Joe Orfano, second.
I have a motion by Todd Skinner, second by Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Well, all those opposed? Motion is adopted.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 4 is a renewal. This is for our rewards and recognition program. This is for the design and administration of that program. It includes service pin design and fulfillment, peer-to-peer recognition, manager-to-team member recognition, spot awards, and all managed within a cloud-based platform that we use. That's where we do our pride points. So MTM Recognition Corporation is our recommended awardee, and the renewal amount for this last renewal option is $171,791.64. They have been performing well. They've provided excellent service for the business and has agreed to renew the contract at the same rates. And the award amount is based on expected use and an estimated amount of budget funds that we have. So we looked at historical spend over the last 4 years to help determine the amount. Any questions or comments?
So Jenny, this is the one item that originally the write-up says no renewals, right? Is this the one?
I believe the original award said no renewals but we went back and double checked the solicitation document that did allow for renewal. So that was just an error.
This might have been discussed in previous award meetings, but I am concerned because the committee does not get to see the solicitation document. So what they approved was no renewals, right? Because this is what they see on the screen. So now we're going back and approving renewals based on what was said in the solicitation. So I guess first question, maybe to Rebecca, is what takes precedence, the solicitation or the award minutes? And is it legal to do that?
So I would say, as far as that goes, that if the committee approves it, then it's essentially giving legitimacy to that decision. It would be within the committee's power to approve it, and then we essentially treat it like a contract amendment to allow the additional renewal. It's obviously not ideal, but but I think it's legal.
Okay. So I guess I would note
I'll
that
also.
it has been
go
through
ahead.
the committee once before for the first renewal, so that was okay then.
So
this one.
actually, that's why you guys haven't seen it. I was just going to note that. So it looks like we had enough funds on that original award that you guys had approved from a not to exceed amount to move forward with the renewal. We only had to add, looks like $45,000, which was within procurement's ability of that 10% to go ahead and increase. And we made the decision with the business to go ahead and allow for that renewal to happen based off of their input and the ability for us to do that and the authority in the P code. You're seeing this and coming back for that second renewal when we were going back to pull in the award document and we saw the error on that first award document. That's how we determined, and that's why we made the note on this award. So this is the first time the awards committee is seeing that error, or that we even noticed that there was an error on the award. When we go and look at whether or not we will renew, we're looking at the solicitation documents. We're not looking at the award documents because they take precedence. So that's how this error was determined. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you, Jenny and Rebecca. So from what I'm hearing, what Jenny's saying, order of precedence, the solicitation documents takes precedence, and from Rebecca that it is legal and okay for the awards committee to approve the renewal, despite what the original awards documents say.
Correct.
Thank you. Do we have
Any
any
other
other
comments?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
May I get a motion to approve award item number 4?
So moved.
Second.
Joe Orfano, second.
I have a motion by Laura Shepherd, a second by Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it back to Jenny for the next award item.
Thank you. Award number 5 is a contract increase. It's for the delivery of A3 filled dirt for JEA. We use this for the restoration and maintenance repairs at various locations throughout our territory. The material provided within the contract is utilized by all JEA construction and maintenance teams, which includes water, wastewater, electric, and meter services. The material is used to meet the county and DOT specifications for excavation backfill. Marietta Sands Corporation is a recommended awardee in the amount of $359,700. This gets us through the original 5-year term, which is September 30th of 2023. The nature of the increase is to cover the remaining term of the contract. At the time of bid, 4 years ago, 3.5, 4 years ago, we were estimating about 17,000 cubic yards of fill per year. We're currently averaging 25,000 cubic yards per year. In addition, Marietta Sands requested a 50% pricing increase. We have done some extensive vetting on that since it is such a large increase. And we looked at 2 different indexes in the market. We looked at the 2 things that were plaguing them the most, the trucking index for transportation, and we looked at the fuel index. Both of them have gone up on average 50% since April of 2018, to when we looked for April 2022. What we negotiated, they had asked for a larger increase, but we negotiated kind of the average. And so we also negotiated in that this increase will apply for only a 6-month period at a time. At the end of 6 months, we will go back and review the same indexes and adjust the price down if the market supports it. And but we also let them know that we do not intend to increase rates any higher after the adjustment. So if it does go up, this is what they're getting through the end of that term. So we were successful in some negotiations with them. This is not a very competitive market. They've been performing very well, and due to the longevity of this contract back to 2018, we thought this was the best interest of JEA to negotiate this and move forward and keep them on contract. So I will pause there and ask if you have any questions or comments.
Sounds like some smart negotiating given everything that's going on in the world today.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you. All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
Hey, may I get a motion to approve award item number 5?
Joe Orfano, so moved.
Second? We'll have a motion by Joe Orfano, second by Todd Skinner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it back to Jenny for the next award item.
Thank you. Through Chair, award number 6 is an invitation for bid. This is for our galvanized pipe program construction services. That includes replacement of existing active galvanized water mains within established residential and commercial communities. The scope of work is expected to be consistent with the replacement of the existing water mains within the right-of-way and the restoration of the water service to existing customers. And the program aims to replace 45,000 linear feet, which is about 8.5 miles of pipe over the next 5 years. We have 3 recommended awardees, split equally between the budget amount that we have for the 5 years that is estimated. Petticoat Schmidt Civil Contractors Inc., JB Coxwell Contractors Inc., and TG Utility Company Inc., all receiving an award amount of $7 million. This would be a 5-year term with 2 optional 1-year renewals. So this initial term you are approving is just the 5 years through July of 2027. We've received 3 bids, and we are awarding all 3 bids. The way that we set this solicitation up is we asked for unit prices. We gave 2 sample projects that the unit prices were applied to, which is what you see when you look at these bid amounts, which is why they're much lower. Just gave us a comparison of unit prices from an apples to apples comparison. They're all going to be treated the same. They all can be those unit prices can be increased annually after the first year to CPI indexed. So that's one piece. Task orders are going to be issued to the selected companies for continuing services like the repair, and maintenance needs that we have. And they will also, in some cases, depending on the cost of the project, the selected vendors will be allowed to bid on the task orders to compete to see who gets it. So we've got this set up similar to other continuing services contracts where we can either just pick someone and use the unit prices they've submitted based off a task order or bid it amongst the three. Any questions or comments?
Thank you, Jenny. This is Hai. I just wanted to note this is just the tip of the iceberg for us for this 2-inch galvanized water main replacement. We have over 200 miles of galvanized pipe in our system, and we are planning to replace them within the next 10 years. So we definitely will be ramping up, getting the engineers on board, and this is just the plan for the next few years while we design the rest of the system, and 200 miles to 10 years, so 20 miles per year is what we're planning starting in a couple of years. So stay tuned. Thank you.
You're welcome. And this is designed tied to, because we have the unit prices, we're allowing them to adjust on CPI. It allows you guys that flexibility as your scope grows and your budget grows. We can come back to the committee and ask for additional funds if needed.
Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome. I will pass it back to the chair for a vote.
May I get a motion to approve award item number 6? Second?
Joe Orfano, second.
I have a motion by Todd Skinner, a second by Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it back to Jenny for the next award item.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 7 is a single source. This is for Northside Generating Station MCCs and Northside's N34 CT. So this is about 47 years old. This CT is 47 years old. The motor control cabinet, which is what that MCC stands for, the components are failing and are hard to replace. This project will replace, there's some acronyms, I'm sorry, I don't have those spelled out, the LV and the MVs of the motor control cabinet with the OEM modern equipment to improve the unit reliability and availability. ABB will provide equipment and technical support during the installation and the commissioning, but it should be noted that JEA will provide installation via a separate contract. So ABB Inc. is our recommended awardee in the amount of $502,803. We are expected to have their portion completed May 31st, 2023. Actually, just want some clarification real quick from the business. Is that expected date the completion of the entire project with installation, or just the expected delivery of the equipment?
That's the expected completion. The outage is March 15th to April 28th.
Okay. So let's just add a note, expected installation completion, since this is, I mean, that's kind of your overall end goal. We have a comparison of something similar that was done in July of 2021 that we put in the backup, but it really was just under very different market conditions. When we talked to ABB during the performance of the N33 project, it was realized that there was significantly more time that was needed in assessment. They do the engineering of this and the support on site during the installation and commissioning, that we knew this one was going to cost more money. They did not properly kind of commit, I guess, from that lump sum. So we knew that the price would go up for similar projects going forward based off of feedback after that. And so the business did adjust their budget accordingly when they put this budget together. So it is only about a 4% difference between what was actually quoted and negotiated versus what they had budgeted. So there was anticipation of an increase for any future projects. Is there anything the business wants to add? If I misstated anything, please chime in.
I think you covered it very well.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
May I get a motion to approve award item number 7?
So moved.
Second,
Joe Orfano, second.
we have a motion by Laura Hippis and a second by Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it back to Jenny for the next award item.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 8 is an invitation for bid. This is for the installation of the Bartram Substation Communication Tower foundation to install 3 deep drilled concrete foundations as designed by Sabre Towers. You guys saw that award come maybe a couple months ago or a month ago or so. This is all a part of ensuring better communication to the satellite water, wastewater lift stations in the area. And it is noted the new tower will also position JEA to provide tower lease options to third-party telecom providers. Wwk Constructors Inc. is our recommended awardee in the amount of $469,300. We expect this install to be completed in September of 2022, so just 3 short months. We went to bid. We received 3 bids. One of them was disqualified. They did not submit minimum qualifications, which is one of the most important parts of just a straight low bid. We need to make sure that they are qualified to do this work. There was a pretty tight timeline, and so as you see, we only have 3 months. So we decided to move forward with just the 2 bids, evaluate those, and selected Wwk Constructors Inc. to move forward. They were the lowest amount overall anyways, but just want to make that note. We do have liquidated damages that are part of this contract. We have negotiated those with the vendor. Everybody is aware of those and understands. And then lastly, I'll just note that the award amount contains 10% supplemental work authorization to incorporate cost or schedule changes into the contract if needed only. And then finally, JEA has included in the award amount $15,000 for the provision of a predetermined third-party inspector to make sure that everything is in compliance. Any questions or comments from the committee?
I guess my question is that normal practice to, when we hire a third-party inspector, to include in a contractor's pricing? I thought typically if we do that, we, in order to assure independence, we issue the PO independently of the contractor.
Hey, hi, Vu. This is Greg. Yeah, you're spot on. This inspector is hired by JEA. We just run them through the contractor. He works for us. We're just passing it through Wwk Constructors just to make it easier for us.
Okay, so it's more for ease of, I guess, project management. You don't have to deal with another contract, and contractors not charging us admin fees, just
No.
a straight pass through.
It's a straight pass through for the inspector. We use this particular individual. We've used him for the last 3 years, so we like his work. He's on top of things, and he makes sure, as Jenny mentioned, that we stay in compliance and they do what they're supposed to do.
Thank you, Greg.
Any other questions, comments? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
May I get a motion to approve award item number 8?
So moved.
Second?
Joe Orfano, second.
We have a motion by Laura Shepis and a second by Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it back to Jenny for the next award item.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 9 is a contract amendment. This is for JEA heavy duty vehicle procurement. The original purpose of the ITN was to solicit pricing for 11 heavy duty vehicles for JEA's FY22 and 23 requirements. This amendment is planned for and budgeted replacement of JEA's electric replacement. So there's 3 units on the electric side for FY23 that have been identified since the time of bid. Those are being added to this contract to get in front of lead times to meet delivery requirements and to buy at the FY22 pricing. So we were able to negotiate with Orlando Freightliner the addition of these, and they are holding the pricing that when we originally brought it to you all. So Orlando Freightliner is the only one out of the original awardees. There were originally 3 awardees, and Orlando Freightliner was the highest ranked for these 3 vehicles. I'm going to pause just for a second. I'm getting some background noise. Can everyone make sure that they are muted? Thank you so much. So Orlando Freightliner is the only change that you'll see compared to the original award, and the change amount is $419,697. And as I noted, Orlando Freightliner has agreed to honor their original pricing. Any questions or comments? I will note you guys might see more of these. The vehicle purchase industry has been quite challenging. You guys have heard us talk about it quite a bit as we come to the awards committee, and what we're finding is they are opening windows for ordering with very, very little lead time notice. And when they do that, it usually does not facilitate the ability for us to do a formal procurement. And so how we're trying to get in front of these is put, the long lead times requirements we know for this one in particular for FY22 and 23, we put them out there. But as things develop and change, we're trying to be as flexible as possible for the business with these ordering windows. So you might see more of these where we can, do something a little bit different or go out to bid for the FY24 if we can get out in front of future stuff and start setting these contracts up for multiple years. It allows us to do the same thing, but you'll see in the next award too that these are just methods for us to be able to get the business what they need timely. So this one we were able to negotiate the same pricing. We're not as lucky on all of them, but for this one, it was a pretty easy amendment. Any questions, comments? All right, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
May I get a motion to approve award item number 9?
So moved.
Okay, I heard Laura Shepis first and Todd Skinner second. So we have a motion by Laura Shepis, second by Todd Skinner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it back to Jenny for the next award item.
Thank you. Through the chair, award number 10 is a contract renewal. This is for our pole line hardware material for JEA inventory. This consists of 564 items. This is used, the material is used to maintain, repair, and replace distribution infrastructure. We went to bid, a little bit of history, last July for only a 1-year contract. We awarded 4 different vendors, and due to the large nature of the workbook, we do select by cherry picking lowest priced item, and we award to the vendors based on that philosophy. When we put this together, due to the market supply chain issues that we're seeing, price increases fluctuating quite a bit, we added some flexibility to this contract to allow us to reduce the risk not only to the vendors but to JEA, so we could get the material and allow for fluctuation in the prices. So I'll go into a little bit more of that in a moment, but as far as the ask, the recommended awardees, this would be a partial contract renewal to get us through storm season. This is a very key contract for storm items. That's what the vendors would commit to right now, so we will take it. And the way that this is being laid out is Stewart Irby Co. would be increasing their award amount by $3,870.07. Annixter would be increasing by $7,065,025.34. Gresco Supply would increase by $946,951, and then Tri-State Utility Products Inc. in the amount of $104,944.17. So we do allow them to adjust based on an index. It's the All Urban Consumers Index. We entertain cost adjustments more frequently in addition to that adjustment or the manufacturer direct pass-through price increases if properly documented and verified to be justifiable in nature. So if they come to us with a manufacturer direct pass-through increase and we have that backup, we have been allowing them to adjust pricing. That, again, provides the mechanism for both JEA and the suppliers to adequately maneuver the current market conditions by still maintaining the overall intent of the solicitation. Just some history, just so you guys can understand, it is quite a bit of work for my group to verify and allow for this to happen, but we feel that it is in the best interest of JEA and just making sure that we do have these materials. But to date, 282 items of the 564, we have allowed the supplier to propose manufacturer direct pass-through price increases, in which some items have had numerous increases for over a total of 500 requests for an adjustment over the past year. But we again do think that it is the right approach to this contract. And you can see the table. So when we are doing that, you know, we are looking at the other ones as well, trying to make sure that we're still getting the lowest price. And so as we are doing those justifications and verifications, you'll see that some items have shifted, you know, from vendor to vendor over the term of the year. But that's how we're managing, you know, being able to keep up with, being able to get the material. And then if we are looking at just kind of an overall, like what we've seen from a price increase, it's about 12%, just overall. To not dig into all the details, but on average, we're seeing about 12% overall contract increase in price. And then lastly, those are just, they're due to the unfavorable market conditions in the aluminum, copper, steel, labor, and transportation. When determining the amounts for this increase through the end of this calendar year, I think it's through, yes, December of 2022, we have added some projections in there. We're trying to take into consideration longer lead times. So we have increased our order requirements and placed a 20% safety stock, if you will, in our ordering numbers, so that you'll see in our kind of our decision-making ability here to try to get out in front of some of that, just trying to position ourselves in a better, you know, inventory position. In addition, if an item was Class A or Class B, so our high movers or on a vital item list, additional safety stock was added as a result of just the market, what we're seeing. So you can see this is a very critical contract for us, and lots of effort goes into it to make sure we can get the items and keep up with what's going on in the market. Any questions, comments?
Hey, Jenny, just a small correction. I think you have the original award date is 7 July of 2022. Just need that. Yeah, scroll up right there.
Oh, okay, 2021.
Yep, that's it.
Perfect, okay. Thank you.
Well, knowing what's facing us on supply chain, this is a great living example of agility and trying to mitigate against a lot of prevailing winds, and a good example of long-term thinking. Yeah. And frankly, holding it to a 12% increase is a real win. So someone has been doing some great negotiating.
Thank you. My team has been working very, very hard. Kenny puts in many hours on this contract, so he gets all the credit. He and his team do. So Kenny, if we'll just make that one update, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
May I get a motion to approve award item number 10?
So moved.
Second?
Joe Orfano, second.
We have a motion by Laura Shepis, second by Joe Orfano. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. I'll pass it back to Jenny for the next and last award item.
Yay. Thank you. Through the chair, award number 11 is a contract amendment. This is for our JEA light and medium duty vehicles. So this is another one similar to number 9. Originally, we solicited pricing for the purchase of 62 vehicles. This amendment is to add 15 to the contract. We've got 3 cargo vans for the fleet water replacement, and then 12 for the electric replacement. Garber Ford Inc. is our only awardee that would be increasing from the original award. So they were the ones who had won the original award for the vehicles that we are presenting to the committee today to add. We are recommending we add $986,415 to their contract. Let's see, this is the one where we've had just a very, very tight ordering window. So Forder Mode Company opened its dealer allocations and the order bank, if you will, on May 31st. So only 4 weeks ago, much earlier than expected. So the decision was made to work with the previous awardee, as we have previously discussed. Garber has been historically just like a well-performing vendor, great quality of work, timeliness of deliveries, and historically been very competitive in pricing. Fleet planned originally in FY23 budget for these 15 vans. They estimated a 15% increase when putting the budget together the year before. But when we met with, or when Fleet met with the Ford corporate representatives at the beginning of June, when that ordering window opened, they were expecting about a 40% increase on these vans. In addition, they let us know that the essential racking and the shelving used for upfitting was expected to be significantly higher than previously bid, well, just due to labor, raw materials, and transportation. So the actual cost increase, though, fell somewhere in between. It's about 26% across all the assets. We've got a table that shows you kind of how those are laid out from the FY2 pricing to the FY23 pricing. So still feel like it's in the best interest of JEA to move forward. They are typically very competitive with these. It allows us to get the orders in time, and Garber has committed to a consistent markup between the FY22 units and these. And so even though you're seeing those prices go up, their markup is not increasing. It is consistent with FY22. So I'll pause there, see if you guys have any questions, comments. All right, seeing none, I'll pass it back to the chair for a vote.
May I get a motion to approve award item number 11?
So moved.
Second?
Joe Orfano, second.
We have a motion by Laura Sheppes, a second by Joe Orfano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is adopted. The entire agenda is approved for June 30th, 2022. Any other business to come before the awards committee?
I'll just make one quick note. As a reminder, we do not have awards next week. That's why we had quite a large agenda. We were trying to pull some forward, give you guys a nice break next week, and we will resume July 14th. I'll note right now we've got about 6 awards that I've seen slated for July 14th. There might be a few more that we're adding, but just to give you guys an idea of what's coming, we're already working on July 14th awards. So we will see you then.
Well, thank you, Jenny. Anything else? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will say
Everyone,
that.
have a great weekend.
You too.